Hey everybody, MichaelBtheGameGenie here. I'm so excited to be with you guys here tonight. Let me look through the chat and see who's here. Bobby Boo just jumped in, clean like a mother. Thanks, brother. Maya Granwidge, Zohar Weisman, who's currently eating his dinner. Thank you so much for coming in, Zohar. I saw someone, Shotgun Sean, thank you very much for coming in. By the way, I saw your game room for the first time last night. That looked amazing, man. Like, oh, wow. Let me on my screen instead of the comments. Let's see who else we've got here. I saw my good friend Sean Nesbitt here in the comments. George Washington, Jason, Adam 12 or Adam XII, Todd Cottrell, Schned 2000, Camo. Thank you so much, Camo. Anti Calgary. Glad you're talking about this tonight. No one is talking about the stand-up outrun for some reason. I don't know why either. Jason, I have 9 arcades so far. I need 9 more than I'm maxed. I keep telling myself foolishness like that too. I've really been trying to sell the wife on me moving into a 2-room system right now. Let's see who else we've got here. Did I miss anybody? If I did, I'm very sorry. Jolly Green, how are you? Kev Gret, Mark, Alpha Nerd Entertainment, Steve Victoria. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. WKRP in Cincinnati, thank you so much for being here. All right, guys, so what we're starting with tonight is I want to talk about Outrun. And, of course, it's for a massively selfish reason because I kind of want to get Outrun. Hello from Winnipeg. Hello in Purgus. 9 Scorpions, Bobby Brown, Nacho Libre, Sling Spade. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. So I want to get Outrun. What you guys don't know is I'm in Canada, and we don't have a choice. It looks like we're just going to get sit-down Outrun. Chris Zeke, how are you? So we only have the choice of sit-down Outrun. So I kind of wanted some feedback from you guys out there already that have sit-down Outrun, what you think of it. Is this a must-buy for me? And then compare it to the stand-up Outrun. There's a way... Crum, it's a terrible game. There's a way, technically, some people have been getting some American stuff into Canada, so maybe I'd look at that way into getting stand-up or wait and see if they'd eventually come up with someone. David Deming, thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of people are saying about the pedals. We'll get into that. So right now I'm sitting on, I have the ability to get the sit-down Outrun. I'm trying to decide if I want it. I don't really have the stand-up. The stand-up's just about coming up. Why do you think there will not be a stand-up in Canada? Because I asked the people who basically run the Arcade1Up Canadian distribution, and I was told, no, we're not getting it, sadly. But things change. Yeah, I'm only 5'11", so I don't know. A lot of people have said that it's kind of small. We'll talk about that, and we're going to talk about if they do another driving cab, what we're going to want going forward. So first up, for the people that have the sit-down Outrun, what do you guys think of it? Do you like it? Is it okay? I know a lot of people say it's small. Just make sure you have a great chiropractor on speed dial. I know a couple people, Zohar. I'm thinking about it. Like, I don't want to miss the first driving game from Arcade1Up, and they do a lot of things I really like. Really think you want to save room for the better drivers like Daytona, Sling Spade, Cruising, Hydro Thunder. The sit-down take up a lot of room. I know that, and the minute I saw the sit-down Star Wars cockpit with the bench, I was like, yeah, that's what. No HSN for Canada. No. We have TSC, the shopping channel. I think it's TSC. I don't know what our Canadian equivalent is. I don't buy a lot of stuff off the shopping channel personally. It's very uncomfortable, Bobby. That's not good to hear. I like it. Grandson loves it. And see, that's the other side of this too. With the sit-down Outrun. My daughter saw that. She said, that's the coolest thing in the world. And my niece and nephew saw it, and they really, really want to get it. A lot of people, like you guys all know Dreamcast Kyle. Dreamcast Kyle, he actually was a huge fan of this. So much so that before it even was announced in Canada, because it's only available now in Canada, he went and ordered it the minute it was announced for Arcade1Up.com. He brought it in from Canada, imported it, the sit-down, and he got it, he liked it, but then he had to mod it. So Kyle has actually got his raised a little bit, and he also put a racing seat on the back. And now that he's got that, he really likes it. But there's also another financial investment if you don't have a lot of the stuff sitting around, or if you're not really good with woodworking. I'm okay-ish. I mean, I built my own cabin, so obviously I could probably build a stand, but I'm not very good with finish woodworking, like making something look nice. I can build something, but like not finish woodworking. So we'll see. Steve Victoria, yes, I know I should have talked to you about this. You like it, very fun to play. Take a 5-minute break and go back to playing. Yeah, and I've heard that the cushion that they actually used on the bench was a little disappointing too. The stand-up is about to come up, and the other thing that we're not talking about here, for the sit-down outrun, the bench has the correct artwork for sit-down outrun. That looks like the sit-down version we all got. But the actual cabinet itself is the stand-up version. If they were going to do a sit-down version, even though the sit-down is kind of boring, it would have been nice if they tried to make it look more like the sit-down version in the arcades, I guess. And Anti-Calgary, that's something I was thinking about too. I was just thinking about, because I've been very critical, open on the shows that I've been frequenting, talking about Outrun. I'm an OCD person, and I hate the fact that the cabinet is going to be, low, like a cabinet off a riser. So I wanted to see it up the same height, but I do like the idea of it actually being able to sit for a driving cab. So I thought about getting it and then making like a giant platform that they all can go on, both the cabinet and the bench, and maybe that would rise it up so it would look more normal, maybe a little bit more comfortable. The truth of the matter is, no matter how much I look at this about getting sit-down outrun, I'm thinking I'm going to have to do something and mod it to make it make sense. I don't know about the wheel. I don't think there's any wheel feedback. I think that it's more like the yoke, where it's going to go back to center, and I'm going to hit my mic, but it goes back to center, but there's no force feedback at all on the actual steering wheel itself. Yeah, yes, a platform. That's what I'm thinking. If I get it, I just got to make a platform for it all to go on. I hope we do get the stand-up. I'm still pushing for the people at the Arcade1Up side here in Canada to try to get Arcade1Up to bring the stand-up version in. I think that would be amazing. Scott Gray, I'm so happy. Scott Gray has worked a tremendously long day, and he's still graced us with his presence. Thank you very much, Scott. I've heard the wheel is not very good as far as control goes. Steve, thank you very much for letting me know that. I've heard that too. I'm friends with P-Dub, obviously. He was pretty critical of the pedals, said they weren't of the best quality. It was a little disappointing too. Adam Kalb, thank you very much for being here. Fantastic of you. I can wait for the stand-up outrun to go down in price. My main focus now is Legends Pinball and Killer Instinct. And that's the other thing, too. Like, Outrun is just coming out here now, and there's so much other stuff just on the horizons. But I think I'd have a lot of fun with the driving game. I think that I want this still. So I just got to figure out if I want to go with a stand-up or if I want to go a sit-down. And I'm trying to weigh the pros and the cons. If you take a look at what P-Dubs did, P-Dubs put his cabinet on a riser himself, and he just put the pedals in front. I mean, the pedals just connect with a regular pad. It's like a stereo speaker cord from what I understand. So, I mean, you can move them pretty easily. Even if I did buy the sit-down, if I didn't like it, I can just throw it on an extra riser or even build my own riser for it to go on. I can build my own outrun riser like what they're selling. That's worst case scenario. 6.6, no way I can do a sit-down. I'll go stand up. Need to be modded with, and that's the other thing. I saw the Retro Ralph video. I know he did one where he put feedback in the seat, and a lot of people are saying that's the way to go. If you put feedback in the seat, it's going to improve the experience. So that's something to say. What is this back channel you mentioned about buying things from Canada and the US? I don't know. It's some kind of shipping service. Like if you're on Anti-Calgary, if you're on the Canadian Arcade1Up Canadian fan page, our buddy Conti actually brought in a Legends pinball today that came from the States. So basically, I think you order it and then you can get it sent to the shipping company, and then the shipping company will bring it into Canada for us. Jason, you could raise the sit-down outrun Michael B and you would love it. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I can make a riser for both the cabinet itself and the seat, I would like outrun. The big question is, where are you going to put it? Well, I kind of answered that too, Jamie. I'm working with my wife here to... my arcade that I have now is just one part of our rooms downstairs. And I actually have a living room and a kitchen area where I would basically move all my stuff into those two rooms and then give up the arcade I have currently for storage, is what we're using the other rooms for now. So... I know. Do I have enough room for Outrun? There's always enough room. I'll turn the whole basement into an arcade if I can. Sit down for the kids, stand up for adults. Who's it more for, ultimately? Well, Dominic, I'm going to be selfish here. It's more for me. So, I want it. I'm not going to lie. I've been looking at it. I've also been waiting... because I can kind of justify it. Like if I ordered it right now, my wife would be so mad. I've got 2 pinball cabinets coming. But if it was in store and I could just buy it, and I said, well, it was just there, I would probably be able to get away with it. Dylan J says, Outrun Cab is amazing. You know, that's pushing me in that direction. If you don't get it, can you please run over it with your real car live on stream to see if it's good build quality? Thank you very much for the super chat, Zohar. I'm probably not going to be driving over any Arcade1Ups, but it's funny. Just build an edition. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about doing now. Some people have done that. Some people have built like basically like he sheds and then filled it with arcades. I'm not confident enough to have a separate unit where I'm not in at all times. Put arcades in your bedroom, wife won't mind. I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm in my new office and I've got an area in the back where you can see the Legends Gamer Pro on the pedestal stand cleared off. I'm actually going to be moving some arcades up here very soon, which is going to make more room in my arcade. So we're good to go. And I've got pinball coming next week, might be early. So I'm trying to get ready for that early and make space for my 2 pinball tables I got coming. One of which is Attack from Mars. So guys, get ready. I might have an Attack from Mars review ready for you guys next week. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I've thought about putting the arcades in my bedroom. If I don't sell my Final Fight, maybe that's where it'll go. That'll spice up life in the bedroom. Jeez, guys, I'm still trying to get used to this new microphone. Very sorry about that. Yeah, my wife is the best. Like, she got a little mad at me there the other day because she was like, you know, I get that you're spending, like, all your expendable income on this. This is what you're doing. Like, I mentioned it on another podcast I did last night. I've been podcast crazy the last couple of days. I'll tell you in a second. But I mentioned on another podcast I did last night, people ask me all the time, they're like, how do you pay for this stuff? I'm not rich, not by any means, but, you know, I just use my money wisely. Like, I don't drink. I pretty much stopped drinking when I had my daughter and just gave that up. That wasn't important anymore. And this past year, me and my wife both quit smoking, and you know, I was paying for that habit. So now we have all this expendable income that used to go into the smoking. So that really helps fund my arcade addiction, which I think is a much better addiction anyways. Mike Iman, got my Star Wars pinball on Friday. I like it, but it will be the only pinball I buy. Interesting. I'd like to know why. If you like racing, you will like it. Just a fun experience and different controls. Yep. But the sit-down needs you to add a kick play panel. I know, that's another thing, too. I mean, I can do it. Life insurance cash value. So, I'm thinking about buying Outrun. I wish, not that it was a little bigger. I don't know if, like, the design is small. I don't like the fact that it's on the floor. So in the future, if Arcade1Up does more racing games, I want to ask the question, like, what do you guys want to see different for the next line of racing games from Arcade1Up? Like, if they came out tomorrow, thank you very much, Jamie. Yeah. So if a new racing cab was announced tomorrow, what improvements would you like to see Arcade1Up make for a sit down that would get you to buy these? Right? So for me, I would like to see the sit down, but just have it a little bit taller. I would like the sit down where the cabinet was more closer to the standard Arcade1Up on a riser, and then a more comfortable seat. If there was some way they could do that, I would be all in. I know the reason why they didn't do it is because maybe that would be a little high for kids. I'm not 100% sure, but I'd like to see the next line of next line of Arcade1Ups where you could get the cabinet with a bench that could go on the floor for kids maybe, and also with risers or some way to rise it up so it's also comfortable for adults. Sean Nesbitt, how about the quality? That would be good. Yeah, and see, Zohar, I've got to be honest, I haven't got to play with the Outrun cabinet, so I don't know about the quality. I've watched some people do reviews, and I don't always take everything everybody says as 100% fact. Like, I've got friends, and I respect their opinions, but also I'm the kind of person that I'd like to try things myself and see if I enjoy it, how I feel about it. A seat with a backrest on the seat. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. That would be a good point. A lot of improvements with the cab. Sean Nesbitt had a couple of good comments here. Force feedback, larger screen, something I could sit on. Yeah, apparently they downgraded the cushion from Star Wars to Outrun, and I don't know why. It was a cost-saving measure, but yeah, that really hurt the effect. Cost would go up and add a seat of some kind. I think seat would be a good idea too. Force feedback in the wheel will be amazing. Outrun is $750 in Canada, so we're right there with pinball for our cabinets now. Also, Big Buck Hunter was $750 too here. Heard it's all good quality except the shifter. I give the pedals a month before they break. I'm always worried about stuff like that, and I never used to be as worried because Arcade1Up have their own replacement equipment store. So, worst case scenario, I'm going to be out like by the time shipping to Canada, another $100 because I'll have to buy another part. But Arcade1Up's been having a lot of trouble getting their replacement parts in stock lately, so that makes me a little bit more nervous about buying something when people say stuff like that. Cushion would be easy to add better padding. I've heard that. Kang Zaros Star Wars Arcade1Up review this week. It'll be fantastic. I'll definitely be there. Kang Zaros, good people, so I second Adam's message. Go check that out. Metal gas and brake pedals would be nice. Shifter seems flimsy, but it works. These are all really good comments, and I think my off-road Thunder spoiled me, but what I want to expect from an Arcade1Up sit-down, that seat is amazing. Yeah, like, I keep thinking about them doing San Francisco Rush, and I mean, can you guys see an Arcade1Up San Francisco Rush cabinet without that famous green seat? I mean, they can't do it. It has to have the green seat. The cab is the easiest to mod. Pedal covers are cool and cheap at AutoZone. So yeah. So I think I agree with you. I would like to see it a little bit taller, and I would like to see some extra features in it. I mean, realistically, if it's going to cost a little bit more, I'd rather pay the extra $100 up front to get some of these extra features. And I think it would be a bigger seller for them. Like, I really love Outrun. I thought Outrun was a great game to come out of the gates with, because I mean, it's a historic arcade cabinet. They've got a great relationship with Sega they just entered into. So yeah, Outrun was a great game to start with, but definitely I'm sorry, O'Hara, it wasn't Chef Boyardee. If it was, I know that path. It's terrible. John Williams, hello. Yeah, so that's it, guys. That's really all I got to say on that. I'd like to see a lot of the things you were talking about, too, as improvements. Now, let's talk about the fun thing. What game do you think they should come out with next? I know Justin Console Kits did his review and said, should they do Cruisin' USA? Could they do Cruisin' USA next? And you guys probably talked about future games coming out, but what do you think would be the next one? I know a lot of people would like to see Daytona. Daytona seems to be a big one. Cruisin' USA seems to be a big one too. But what about you old school arcade people out there? Do you want to see a Pole Position? Pole Position would be a very cool game. A lot of arcade enthusiasts are like, oh my god. Spend 3 hours driving to get a new arcade cabinet tonight, so I should spend some time with the wife. Get out, Michael, you'll love it. Thank you very much, Tony G. Can you take over the 1UP Weekly since Justin and Ralph don't want to do it? Well, thank you very much, Mike. They're coming back. It's just, you know, they talked about it in their show. They just, you know, want to make sure that it's a very general show and not based on a company, right? And I completely understand that. I see a lot of Cruising USA here. Stun Runner is one I'm not familiar with personally. I'm going to have to look that up afterwards. It sold a riser kit for the cab and seat. It could work for both the Star Wars and Outrun cabs. That's a hard driving. I was talking about hard driving last night, Steve Drumheller. Oh, pole position 1 and 2 is my ass. That's a really good one. Spy Hunter, if they get the music rights. Sega Super Monaco GP, but it'd be incredibly difficult to emulate. If it's pole position or Stun Runner, I'll smash it myself. Yeah, that Daytona song, I mean, I grew up in the arcades in the 90s, and I can't think of going into an arcade and not hearing, I can't even remember the lyrics. It was like, oh, what a night it's gonna be. You'll never hear me sing again. I apologize. Cruising is greater than Daytona. Daytona Day 1 purchase, Chase HQ, Cruising the World. How about a sit-down Sinister? Zero Hero coming in with some interesting stuff there. Arcade1Up should have shown Turbo on the Outrun cab. I love playing that. Crazy Taxi down the road would be great. I have seen a lot of people say they wanted Crazy Taxi. Yeah, that's right. Steve B's right. Justin and Ralph are covering the auction this coming Saturday night. They're going to keep doing their show, guys. They just took a little hiatus to separate themselves from Arcade1Up. And I mean, there's a lot of Arcade1Up in the last little while on the show. Can you imagine what an Afterburner game would be like? That would be amazing. But I want the full experience where I'm moving around. Yeah, I've asked myself this time too. There was a huge like Kawasaki Ninja motorcycle game in the arcades back in the mid-90s where there used to be 4 like motorcycles right next to each other, and I can't remember the name of it for my life. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, how do you get Crazy Taxi? Like, those song rights would be nuts. Super Sprint with the 3 steering wheels. Yeah, Mr. Dude's right behind you with Super Sprint. Good call, Keith. I know you are, Zohar. No one thinks you're not. You are a good guy. Sit down Star Trek or double joystick for Crazy Climber and Robotron. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say Crazy Climber, and you guys know I want Robotron, but Williams Game Defender Robotron 2084. Do you think we'll ever get a real Defender? Is there enough of a market for a real Defender? What's going on, Tyler? My Retro Life is here. One of my best friends on YouTube, does some amazing videos. If you've never seen his stuff before, he does a bunch of this. He's got home videos from him and his dad and this amazing collection when they were younger, and does a lot of reminiscing stuff. It's amazing. What's up, Michael B? Good, Uriah Arcade doing? Yeah, I actually played Beach Buggy Racing for the first time yesterday, and I love it. Love it. I said this in my review. Every game that I second-guessed and I said, I don't know what Zhang's doing, and like, this doesn't make any sense to me, has turned out to be such a fun experience, and I just believe him. I believe everything he said now. Is there a Space Harrier one yet? No, but I can play Space Harrier on my II Arcade. That's where I'm playing it now. I have Space Harrier on that. Ivan Stewart, Iron Man Off-Road. Make an Enduro Racer. I want them to do a motorcycle racer with Enduro Hang-On, Super Hang-On. That would be a really cool one. They won't do pole position, as that is a step backwards. As demographics who would buy that wouldn't be worth it to Arcade1Up. Conti! I was talking about you earlier, brother. Yeah, we kind of talked about this. I mean, 1UP Weekly does a very good job of explaining this in their show. Like, Arcade1Up is excellent. They do a great job, like, listening to us, and we get cool stuff. But at the end of the day, who their real market and they're selling to is mainly, they've got to sell to Walmart, and they've got to sell to retailers. That's who they're selling to, and a lot of times they want to do a really cool arcade like Dragon's Lair, but then trying to get the store to turn around and buy Dragon's Lair off them and actually carry the product is the tough one. So a lot of times they got to try to find games that really make sense and the retailers know and want to carry. Why hasn't Arcade1Up officially put the stand-up outrun on their website? I don't know, Anti-Calgary, but Chris Zeke is here in the conversation, and I think they got a shipping notification for their stand-up outrun today. And I'm sorry if I'm outing you guys. Nikki put it on Twitter, so I thought it was okay to say, Chris. Apologize if I'm just putting that out there and you didn't want anybody to know or anything like that, but they do have their stand-up outrun on the way. And Jason, yeah, the Arcade1Up website, the stuff that they have for sale, not everything is available through the website. The website really is a redirect to partners a lot of times. P-Dub, thank you very much, my brother. Talented guy, and to remind him, Nostalgia says we need to plug the merch. I like this. It's going to be an ongoing joke. So guys, if you haven't yet, go to Nostalgia's YouTube channel, check out his Teespring store, where you can buy your very own Super Game Room Dudes merch. So if you want to represent us, support our show, support Nostalgia, pick it up from him. It's fantastic. Kickstarter. We are going to start a Kickstarter to get Cool Toy. Cool Toy needs to get Optimus Prime truck. So we got to start a Kickstarter and get Cool Toy to do the Lex Express tour right across America in the Optimus Prime truck. I mean, I would support that if there's some buy-in like that. Yeah, it is a great stream today. Lots of interaction. I haven't checked yet to see how many people are on the stream. Yeah, that's good. I'm really happy with that. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I know this is late at night. For me, it's 11:56. I just really quickly tell you, and I'm sorry if this is kind of boring to you, but the last couple nights I've been really, really busy. Last night, I started my night with doing podcast that's recorded. It's going to be up on Friday with a YouTuber by the name of SNES Drunk, and also a YouTuber by the name of Nespring called Drunk Friend Podcast. So I immediately jumped off that. Zohar, I got to remember your super chat. I'll come back to that in a second. Immediately jumped off recording their podcast, and then jumped on the Rexer show, and we did that one. And then P-Dub sent me a message, and he was like, I'm going live in like 20 minutes. So the minute I got off Rexer's stream, I jumped on with P-Dub. So I did 3 last night. So right before I did this tonight, because I really want to try to make Monday night my night to do my chillin' chats, I want to try to get it scheduled a little bit. I had a commitment as well. I did The Movie Is Starting podcast with my old YouTube friend, Old Ass Retro Gamer, and we watched Mortal Kombat. So I just did a 2-hour podcast recording before I came on and went live with you guys. So yeah, I've been busy the last couple days, and I've been having a lot of fun, so that's cool. Zohar says, I guarantee Cruisin' is next. They don't have the power for Daytona yet, and because Killer Instinct has similar hardware, you know, Cruisin' has to be next. Yeah, I think you might be right, Zohar. Especially, you got to remember, Justin and Ralph are really close with Arcade1Up, so they have like advanced knowledge, and maybe it might be next, but they're kind of testing the waters by putting that information out there right now to try to gauge the interest, do some market research to find out how interested people would be in a sit-down Cruisin' USA cabinet. I would love it. I mean, let's be honest, Cruisin' USA, especially in the early days of the N64, was pretty much my go-to game on that system. So, yeah, I would be all about a Cruisin' USA. This is Drunk. Oh, Tyler, thank you so much. So glad you stayed at the YouTube thing. I'll go as long as you go. Mega Man Power Battle Arcade1Up. I don't think we're going to Mega Man Power Battle Arcade1Up, but thank you so much for the super chat, Tyler. That means a lot, man. Yeah, we've been doing this for a while, haven't we, brother? It's been a long time. I don't know if I told you this, guys, before. Tyler, the first video I ever saw of him, like he's been on YouTube, and he's had many iterations of his channel. When I first met him, he had a channel called the Sega Channel. The very first video I've ever seen him do was this awesome, like, basically a Christmas comedy commercial about this guy giving his wife Phantasy Star 1 on the Sega Master System for Christmas. If it's up on YouTube, you guys got to go see it. It's like my favorite things still to this day, that he did a lot of great Sega related content, and then he moved into the My Retro Life stuff with his dad, which I love watching it. It's some of my favorite stuff on YouTube. It's like the Wonder Years plus a documentary plus all the warm feelings you ever felt collecting games. Go check out Tyler's stuff, man. It really would mean a lot to me. I kind of got off topic. I apologize, guys. What about Hydro Thunder? That was one of my favorite races. Yeah, I really liked Hydro Thunder too, but I'll go back to the equipment. I don't know if they could do that. Hydro Thunder would be a really, really cool game. I think we're going to get more of a traditional racer next. They went older with Outrun. That's the 80s. I think we'll get something 90s next time, as long as the hardware can hold it. So maybe Cruisin' is the next one. Daytona, it's a little bit tougher. I figure Arcade1Up would make another Pac-Man with one game that everyone would buy, Virtual Baby Pack. Yeah, that would be a good one. I don't know. I think we are going to get more Pac-Man cabs, and I've talked about this till I'm blue in the face. The reason we get Pac-Man cabs is because no matter how many they put out, they sell, and then that money is like their cash cow, which funds all the other cool shit that they do. So that's why we get stuff like Dragon's Lair and the other stuff that they probably wouldn't normally be able to push to retailers. Yeah, March is going to go down as the most expensive month for cabs. We haven't seen anything in Canada yet, but I've seen that a lot of people in the US are starting to get billed for their legacy cabinets, both Midway and Capcom. So I think we're going to be a little bit later. I think we're going to be April, May before our legacy cabs get here in Canada. Yeah, I think we're going to get another Golden Tee, definitely at some point, and that's pretty much disappeared from retail stores right now. It's really hard to find a Golden Tee. Any other racing games that I haven't mentioned? I know someone said hard driving earlier. Do you guys remember hard driving? It used to be in like an actual cab, or maybe that was just a conversion. I can't remember, but it's the one where you start out and it's like really slow and awkward, and you got to do the loop-de-loop. Oh man, hard driving. And it was called Race Driving, the port to the Super Nintendo. Nintendo Play Choice 10. I can dream, can't I? I'm like the weirdest guy in the world. Chiller Arcade1Up confirmed. Oh, I forget what they're called, but there's a whole load of those. Oh, and man, they're right at the beginning of Fun Spot when you walk in. All those games, the old gun games. So Chiller's one of them. Maybe we will get it. The Nintendo Play Choice 10. A lot of those are just console games, and I've said it a million times. If I want to play any of those games, I really want to play them on a console, not so much an arcade. So I'm like the one person in the world is like, I don't want to play just 10. But I don't want to stop anybody from getting one either. Hard driving had a clutch. They're not double the price, but we're at the point where I think the Arcade1Ups are going to come in somewhere around $500. I think that's going to be the standard price for all your bells and whistles, for your riser, lit marquee, and all that stuff. Spy Hunter would be very, very cool. Will there ever be a Mario cab? Maybe. Exidy games. That's what those Exidy gun games. That's what I was trying. Thank you so much, my retro life. What dirt of profession do you have? You've been busy with YouTube. What's dirt of profession do you have? What sort of profession do I have? I mentioned this on the last stream I was on. I'm a executive director for a not-for-profit charity. We help people with spinal cord injuries and mobility impairments get through rehab, get back out into the community. We also help them find employment. That's what I do with my day gig. I have always been a night owl, so... What about using that Sega relationship and doing Sega Super GT Scud Race? Yeah, that's a good suggestion, P-Dub. Absolutely. E-Bike Simulator winner phones home. Unless in Canada we pay $750 to $800. Yeah, I'm not sure, John Williams. I got a feeling that's what we're probably going to be paying. Yeah, I think that's what the price is going to move towards. I don't know, but I mean the $500 cabinets, Buck Hunter and Outrun, that's the price we paid right there. Star Wars pod racing would be so rad. Sit down cab like classic Star Wars, take my money. Yeah, I mean if they did the original cockpit, like we all saw that mod video that is online where the guy took the Arcade1Up Star Wars and then basically fabricated all the rest of the stuff to turn it into the basically a real cockpit. If Arcade1Up did something like that and that was a premium cab, that would be amazing. I would be all over that. So cool. Retro Collect, you seem like a very good and humble man. Thank you very much, man. That's really cool of you to say. Yeah, guys, so many possibilities. So now I need your help. Do I buy Outrun? Come on, guys. That's what, I'm so selfish with these things. I'm just trying to figure out, should I buy Outrun? I've seen a lot of people in the comments say, yes, get it. You're going to absolutely love it. And that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, yeah, it's going to be small. I'm probably going to have to do some modding. I just picked up Outrun seated, paid $7.50. Yeah, it's available right now through Walmart. I'm going to have it relatively quickly. It takes about like a week and a half to get here. Best Buy also has it, and so does the Brick. So, you know, I'll do some asking around to see which one. Jurassic Park sit down is fun. My vote is yes. Stand up, yes. Sit down, no. Super hang on, serious. That would be a good one. Steve Drumheller says yes, I should get it. Yes, buy Outrun. My Retro Life, of course, it's Sega. He's going to tell me to buy it. I really want it. I do want a driving game, and this does look like fun. Like, you guys know, I don't do a lot of news videos. If I do a news video, it's because I have some kind of information that I think is really important to get out, or I'm trying to help someone. Like, a lot of times I'll make a video about stuff being available in Canada because I want to tell people in Canada about it, but I'm also trying to help, like, a friend that's trying to sell them or something like that. So, but when the Outrun news broke, I didn't get any advanced information. I thought it was really cool, and I got excited, so I made a video. So it's one of those rare news videos I just made because I was excited. And I've been talking myself out of buying it ever since I've released that video. And, yeah. Did I have any nostalgia for Outrun? Jason, I mentioned this last night on that Drunk Friend podcast I did. When this started, it was all about just buying the cabinets I was nostalgic for. But then I started to get this bug, and I started watching all these videos about bigger diamond ring, bigger home arcade. That's good advice, Camo. Push the accelerator, Michael B. So I'm seeing a lot of them. Sit down makes you look like you're driving a little Tykes car. Yeah, so I don't know. I made a lot of comments when people were making videos on Outrun. I kept putting in their comments, put it in H, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So if you look at the thumbnail I put up for this video, it's a video of Homer at Crazily Vaclav's car sale, where he's sitting in the car and he's got his knees up like this in that tiny little car, and Crazy Vaclav is trying to get it to start, and he goes, put it in H. No one knew what I was talking about, but it's that scene. That's what it made me think of when I saw everybody trying to play Outrun on the sit-down. Wayfair Canada will probably carry the stand-up Outrun. Yeah, that's true. That's Wayfair in Canada. Man, it's like the Wild West. They just do whatever they want. So, yeah, it'll probably be $900, and we'll probably have to pay for shipping. You might be right there, Steve Victoria. I'm still going to work on my contact. I've been pushing him. Like, every time I write him, I'm like, you know, stand-up Outrun would be cool. And he's like, I don't know. Like, we'll see how Outrun does. Sit down, yes, but I don't think Outrun will be comfy. Nice with driving. Cross-border ship it. Yes, Conti, this is what I was talking about you earlier. You've got that magic ability to figure out how to get U.S. stuff. I've got to talk to you about that. Why would you not buy the II Arcade Retromania cabinet? You're in the game. Pass it to the kids when they grow up. You're in the game, Michael B. Get it. Retro Collect right now, we cannot buy the II Arcade Retromania cab in Canada. Not that I know of. I got to talk to John about it and see if there's a Canadian option, but right now there's not. And then maybe I could use the Conti option to ship it, though. Why is it so expensive in Canada? Honestly, there's two reasons. One is because our exchange rate, our Canadian dollar really took a dip. Going back to 2015, our Canadian dollar, we were right about even with the U.S. and sometimes ahead of them. And then, boom. See you, Sling Spade. Thank you so much for dropping by, man. I really appreciate it. I'm going to double check how long we've been going, too, because sometimes I go a little long on these. Okay, not too bad. Really good. And then the other reason is there's shipping. There's extra shipping to Canada. So Arcade1Up is usually one of the better companies. When they bring it over here, we usually pay about right around what the... Yeah, thank you very much, my Retro Life. We usually pay right around what the actual price is with the exchange rate, and then there's a little tiny fraction for shipping. A lot of other companies, when they bring their stuff here, it's like you're trying to do the math in your head, and there's like an extra $100 built on for shipping. Tell John to airdrop via parachute on your front one. That is an option. I would like that. Import brokerage. Yeah, there's that one too. Stand up should have been what Canada got. Sit down takes up a lot of room for impulse buyers. Yeah, that's the other thing too. I mean, this is going to take up more room than a pinball table by the time the stand goes up and goes back. Yeah, good night, Retro Collect. Thank you so much for being here. I know it's late, guys. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. Well, Arcade said they were working getting them into Canada when I reached out to them. Okay, I'll keep my eye on that. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do with Outrun. I'm thinking about it. I'm also thinking that eventually they're going to come out with another car game down the line, and they might improve the way it is. I would be interested to see if they do take some feedback from the community. Like sometimes they'll do surveys and ask for information. I would like to see them do some kind of survey and ask for information about what should be the next thing to do with their racing games. Do I think the brick will drop prices on the At Games Legends Ultimate? No, I don't. I don't think the brick is going to be dropping prices on the At Games Legends Ultimate. We might get a sale every now and then, but I don't think you'll get a. I know why you're asking, because Sam's Club in the States right now are doing Jeff Rainwater greeting from the United States of America. Howdy, Jeff. Canada's a huge country with a small population. Costs a fortune to ship stuff around. It does, and to be honest, guys, they're also bringing in small numbers to Canada. I didn't know this, but when I ordered my NBA Jam cabinet from EB Games, they oversold, and I ended up not getting my NBA Jam cabinet right away. And I went back and I was fighting with them, and I was like, what do you mean you guys oversold your pre-order? And they basically explained it. Here's NBA Jam, one of the hottest games coming out, and EB Games only sold 67 cabs, but they only had 65 stock coming to them total. It's not that many cabs when you think about it. Bonus cab features that didn't show up in the US, e.g. light up decks. Next thing you know, there will be a Legends Arcade steering wheel add-on. There is one coming, Crow. I don't know 100% sure, but I think there is one coming. Waiting on a new and improved. Arlene from the Brick just posted that Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man 8 and 1s are coming next month. That's right, the Wallcades. Are we going to get another Shooter Next announcement? I'm not a fan of Buck Hunter. Yeah, see, and that was the thing too. I understand why you do Buck Hunter. It's the same reason that you do Golden Tee. It's in every bar, so every dude with like a basement bar would see Buck Hunter and be like, remember when we used to go to the pool hall or whatever bar and play that all the time? It's perfect for not guys like us with basement arcades, but guys with basement bars they can throw in there. So it'll be a huge seller, just like Golden Tee. But it would have been cooler if they did like T2. They did Time Crisis. House of the Dead. Oh, House of the Dead. Yeah, a lot of people remember Outrun. I don't have as much nostalgia for Outrun now, but going back and really getting into the arcade hobby and, getting interested, you learn a little bit more about Outrun. And it's a lot FOMO on my part. It's a racing cab. I want to try it. I want to try a racing cab. I want to have a racing cab. So that's what I'm thinking about buying it. I don't know, man. I'm still on the fence because it's going to be so much lower. It's going to be such a different form factor from the rest of my arcades, the way my setup currently is now. I don't know if I can do it. And if I did do it, I'm probably going to have to do those mods that I talked about earlier. Oh, and we were talking about the bonus cab features. The only one that I know of was, like, my cabinet. I got X-Men vs. Street Fighter, also had the light-up deck. And I can't tell you why that was. We just got our own unit. And then we got the HSN Miss Pac-Man here with the light-up front deck. I would only care about Golden Tee cab they did. Yeah, someone else posted that earlier today. They were asking where someone could get a Golden Tee. It's tough right now. I think we'll get another one coming out very soon, and there'll be some kind of bowling put into it. John Diaz said many times that they're thinking about re-releasing Golden Tee with a bowling game too. Won't be Silver Strike because I don't think they have the license, so they can't get it to work, but it might be world-class bowling, which I'm not familiar with. Can they even do House of the Dead? Those are almost impossible to emulate. If they have Sega on board helping them, working with a team like Code Mystics, yeah, possibly. So I'm still convinced I'm going to smash my Outrun if I get it. Yeah, we'll see. I found out something really cool the other day. I turned on one of my Arcade1Ups. I turned on my Burger Time cabinet, and you know how those things pop up at the beginning if a company helped them do the emulation or help build it, and like you'll see Code Mystics pop up. Well, a game logo popped up, and it was called Other Ocean. And the funny thing is, that's a company based here in Newfoundland, Canada. Like a little island off the coast of Canada has their own video game development company called Other Ocean Entertainment. And that's the people that did the Burger Time cabs. So I've had it for like almost half a year now, or a little bit over probably, and I never noticed before. So that was pretty cool. Did you decide if you're going to go through with your pre-orders of the Legacy cabs? Yes, I am getting both Street Fighter and Midway. The thing, I was always going to get the pre-orders. I just wasn't sure if I was going to get rid of my old cabs. That I'm still not decided. 1 million views guaranteed, Michael. Oh, Zohar, I don't do it for the views. If I really hated Outrun, maybe I would do a video saying I didn't like it, so I sold it. Do a premium cab for House of the Dead. They could get $8.99 for that easy. I think those premium cabs are going to be coming. No, Zohar, that's not worth it to me. I'm not that guy. I wouldn't break it. I am excited to try it. I do wish sometimes. Maybe I need to check the brick. We're in pretty bad COVID lockdown now, but I would like... That's one 100% I'd like to try before I bought. The Burger Time cab was the last Arcade1Up we got. I would like to know why, Crow. Did you not like it? I really liked it, and I like the art, and I like playing Burger Time. Do you normally have the buyer pick it up, or do you ship it? I haven't sold an Arcade1Up cab yet. I bought one secondhand, and I went to the guy's house and picked it up. So if I do decide to sell when I get my Legacy cabs, it'll be the first time I've sold one. More than likely what I'll do, I luckily have a garage on the side of my house, so I'll just... put it up in my garage and have the guy come in and look at it there. No, I'm not a big Buck Hunter fan. I've never played it before. Ever. Jeff, I've heard a lot of people say that. They find it hard. And, I see people do the mods where they put, like, the giant, like, 40-inch TV screens in there. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, is it still an arcade cabinet? I mean, at this point, aren't you better off just buying, like, a Sinden light gun and emulating it? Just playing on your TV, because that's kind of what you're doing. I'm not trying to take away from the mods they did. I don't understand it. I would like... I think it would have been nice if they did a bigger screen in that cab, honestly. Yeah, 100%. I'll always have them pick it up, show it working, then it's theirs. I know if I was buying it... yeah, I barely have the 7 cabs. They're all in the living room. Yeah, Crow, that's the thing. Man, if my wife would let me put these all over the house, we would not be having this conversation about Outrun right now. I just have it. I should get the MVSX and forget everything else. That is on my list, Zohar. I do, like I told you last time, I have it in my cart for Canada Computers. I think those Buck mods are ridiculous. And that's something that kind of brings me down on getting Outrun as well. I don't want to buy a cab that then I have to turn around and mod to enjoy it. And that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that I will have to mod it to enjoy it. And it was the same with Buck Hunter. I mean, I don't want to buy a cab that I have to personally, I like keeping stuff stock. Like, I have a modded NES Classic, but the only reason I have a modded NES Classic is because I also bought a second one that I kept stock. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. Love the Big Buck. Yeah, that's great, Todd. And a lot of people say it's super fun. Like, I had a friend on the phone yesterday, and I never would have assumed, but he said the exact same thing. He was like, wait a minute, there's a Big Buck? I'm definitely thinking about getting that. MVSX is great. All right, Steve Victoria. Thank you very much, man. Have a good night. Yeah, boy. I'm never going to live down the Chef Boyardee, am I? Never, ever. Oh, man. Yeah, so... Yeah, and see, that's the other thing. Like, if I did get the MVSX, I would have to get Bobby Vu's riser for it. P-Dubs did an excellent job in his review video talking about the line of sight issue where they kept the original shape and that marquee comes out. There's definitely a line of sight issue if you're not on like a stool or something, so I would definitely have to get a riser for it as well. Only one way to mod the Outrun cap. Well, at least you're not saying have me drive over it. I mean, throw it out the window. Or the flan. Yeah, that's possible too. So that's where I'm to, guys. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I've since day one wanted Outrun, but like I'm worried that it's going to be shorter than the rest of my cabs, and my OCD will kick in, and I don't know if it's... Yeah, George Washington, you really knocked this out of the park. You know, if I get it through Walmart and I don't like it, I can just return it. So, something to think about. George Washington, you're a man of great insight. I like the way your mind thinks. Problem is, I like everything. You guys know that. SNK has an official riser coming in April. I did not know that. Bobby Vooz is nice, though. That's where I'm to, guys. And honestly, I hope in the future we do get more driving games. I would love to see Cruising USA. I'd love to see Daytona. Love to see the Rush games. They look like so much fun. I just hope they're more arcade authentic instead of a game with a bench. I know, WKRP in Cincinnati, you're making a good point too. If I'm thinking about it this much, I mean, Todd Cottrell says I will like it and never return it. They are really good. Jeff Rainwater knows what's up. Chef Boyardee is really good. My kid loves it, and it's easy to cook. Use it as a giveaway. I'm not that rich, Daryl. I wish I was. The shipping alone would double the cost of it. Trust me. Wait for a better game and tweaked and improved setup. Let others beta test the format. Just kidding, Smash. George Washington. Do you know Zohar? Yeah, I don't know where I'm to. I might get Outrun. Don't be surprised if you get a message from me very soon to say I bought Outrun. You will hate it on a cellular level. I don't know. Sneak it in and it will hide easily behind the others. I don't think we will. Like, you guys remember in NBA Jam, they took out some of the girls that were on screen between rounds, if I'm not mistaken, because the girl who played Sonya in Mortal Kombat 3, oh, I forgot her name now, but she was actually in NBA Jam originally in those between credit scenes, so maybe they would also take that out too. What games would go into Cruising? Could they put Exotica on there? Off-road. Cruising USA, Cruising World, maybe Cruising Exotica? Yeah. You might be right there. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm here for Daytona. I want Daytona. I love Daytona. That's when, and I'm showing my age completely, but when I think arcade racing game, Daytona's the one I think of. So, you know, I'm hoping there's a Daytona eventually. Maybe I'll wait till I don't know. This is so hard for me, guys. I want it because it's a driving cab. And I also know if I don't make up my mind soon, it's going to be really, really, really hard to get Outrun. That's the other thing. These cabs. Carrie Hoskins. Yes, thank you very much, King Midas. Carrie Hoskins was also in NBA Jam. And she was Sonya in Mortal Kombat 3. And she was beautiful back in the 90s. Off-road challenge would work. I don't know. I'm in a conundrum, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do about Outrun. I'm waiting for Daytona also. Conte's a smart guy. Daytona would be the one. That's the biggest one for us, I guess, in our age bracket. Daytona with online play. Oh. Yeah, you're definitely speaking my language. What about Gran Turismo? The Sony game? Was there an arcade port? Yeah, it has to be one of those three, or it won't be good. Cruising. Outrun Cab is worth it for Outrunners alone. See, the thing is, I don't know a lot of people that bought Outrun that don't really like it. Even the sit-down. Like, the only comment I ever hear is, it's a little bit uncomfortable. The bench could have been a little bit better. But everybody still says they have a lot of fun. Like, even though there's those detractions and those things kind of, you know, my own OCD about it being short. but everybody says it's fun. So, and I like having fun. Mainly that's why I'm doing this. Virtual racing was cool. Yeah, that could show up. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Will I get the Dragon's Lair arcade? I sure want it. I'm waiting to see what the final version of Dragon's Lair is going to look like. I mean, I'm not as hard on the screen with putting a phone back there, but I mean, I'm waiting to see what they do with that. What they do with the screen issue in the back. Right now, I can play Dragon's Lair, and it's pretty good. Arizona's Arcade Heroes, thank you so much. Modded into a Batman Raw Thrills. It's so above my comprehension level. I'd love to. Brad O'Connell, how are you? Crazy Taxi after Daytona first. Yeah, we talked about Crazy Taxi earlier. Crazy Taxi would be so hard because of all the amazing music in it. I have the sit down. I added some back support with a seat from Amazon. It's perfect now. I actually enjoy feeling like I'm in a small go-kart. When I drive my car, I play the music from Outrun. It's like I'm playing the game. There's always that option. I could just do that. Look like real cabs, but the sit-down cabs look like kitty toys, and you look stupid playing them. But Steven C knows what I'm talking about. Like, Kongs, thank you so much for coming here, man. Yes, Brad, talk me into Outrun. Yeah, everybody's looking forward to the new show, Arizona. Thank you so much for being here. Friday night's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Thank you so much, Spencer Walters. Kongs R Us, should I buy Outrun? You tell me. You have it. Do you guys like it? Are you happy with it? I think you guys already had to sit down Star Wars too, though, so like you knew what you were getting. Everybody's telling me, talk me into getting Outrun. That's where I'm too. I'm so selfish with these streams. I'm just basically doing it to decide if I want to buy Outrun or not. Like, I apologize. It's entirely selfish, guys. I'm so sorry. But I've been on the fence about this for months. For months. Literal months. In your space, you need the stand-up. See, Kong, that's kind of what I was thinking too, and that's the hard one, because apparently we might not be getting the stand-up cab in Canada, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. Decisions. If I had an extra space, like if I had... See, the thing is, I've seen some people do it, like the Tech Buzz, and he has the sit-down Star Wars, but it's not right along the wall next to everything else, so he has it in the middle, and it kind of looks like it makes sense there. And if I had enough room in my row between my cabinets to put cabinets in the middle, I think that would work. Sit down, take up too much space in a space-deprived arcades. Kongs, like you're talking a lot of sense here. I have the sit-down Outrun. It's extremely solid cab. I think the upright will be slightly better for this particular game. Yeah, and I mean, even the art is the stand-up Outrun, so it's tough. You can use the extra wood. Bought a stadium seat to put on it, but didn't end up needing it. The bench works fine. And Stu, with Mr. Dude 206, with his traditional comment to me, moved to New York. Because we always talk about all the things I can't get here in Canada, and he's like, just move to New York. Because that's sensible. I can just do that, right? WKRP in Cincinnati knows. Yes, I'm moving my arcade. I broached it with my wife. 17 full, 15 full-size cabs in my garage, living room, and along the side of the house now from pickers. Yeah, you guys are gonna, like, especially where you're doing a show, you guys are gonna pick up a lot of stuff and quick, because like it's content, right? So wow. Yeah. Have you ever driven a car standing up? Not that I remember. Metal covers that slide over the pedals, that's a mod I'd be willing to do. Like, I'm not big on doing too much modding. Like, I've got some stuff from Glenn, and, like, perfectly made sense, so I did that. But I don't usually mod anything. I try to keep it as stock as possible. But something that would just be, like, slide on, that's something I would definitely try. Thank you so much, B. Yeah, see, I love the driving games too. Like, I want a driving cab, and I can get one. So this is the hard thing. Yeah, Corey, that is true. I mean, not everybody can have that much. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm so caught up. I've driven a Jeep standing up. That's impressive, actually. Yeah, guys, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it a lot, and I'm not 100% sure which direction I'm going to go in on this one. Uh, I've gotten a lot of really good feedback from you guys. Like, basically, everybody who gets the sit down outrun, they've got little quirks about it, but they still say it's fun. Stand up outrun is not out in consumers' hands, so I'm waiting to see how people feel about that and see how much if we can push it. Outrun Cab Crow is $500 US, and here in Canada it's $749. So I'd be looking at $870, somewhere around there. Do I know if Glenn is making any replacement part for Outrun? I'll only get rid of it if I get it. Maybe Zohar. No, I've asked Glenn a couple times to really give me a peek behind the curtain, but he hasn't really told me too much. But Outrun is definitely not one we've discussed. I told him that he needed to make the... you remember the Outrun Deluxe Outrun cabinet that I also had the hydraulic little car you could get into. Get Glenn's yoke so you can get your racing fix until another racing cab comes out. I do have Glenn's yoke. I do already have Glenn's yoke, so I'm good there. Don't want to break my back getting off that low seat. I knew the minute I saw the Star Wars bench seat. I was like, that's what our driving cab's going to be. Like, they were right. Arcade1Up was right. Like, if you play a driving game, you want to sit down. You want that car experience. I get it. I don't like it, how you have to mod it to make it comfortable. Thank you so much for stopping in, Crow. I really appreciate it, brother. Guys, go check out Crow. Like, I know we're all Arcade1Up pinball fans now. Everybody's really excited about pinball. You got to go check out the Crow Continuum. Crow does so much pinball stuff. It's all fantastic. If you want to get a crash course on VPin before you get your VPin cabinets, go check out Crow's stuff. Of course, driving cabs could be like VPin. Maybe next year the market will be flooded with them. Get Outrun, sit down with your daughter, and mind be a man. Oh, all the sales tactics have come in. He tried to compliment me. Now he's trying to insult me into buying it. I remember I went to buy my second ever car, and I went back to the dealership where I bought my first car because it was also like a family thing for my wife's family. So I went up to the dealer, and I drove the car he had, and I didn't really like it. Like, it wasn't really my cup of tea, and I asked if he had anything else, and he was like, no, we just have these really expensive ones. And I was like, well, I'm not really interested. And he was like, I understand. You maybe don't have the money to shop with us anymore because we're an upscale dealership now. And he tried to guilt me financially into buying a car, and I was like, no, that's not the right approach to take with me. that was it. I've never bought another car there since. I really think the way to go is get a full-size driving cab and make it a multi-cade, like that Prime Racing one Ralph has maybe. Yeah, and I watched all Ralph's videos on the Prime Racing cab. The only thing I didn't like about that, and I haven't really, I meant to ask Ralph, and I think I did a little bit, but I never got a full answer, is the aspect ratio seemed locked on Daytona because it's a widescreen. But I mean, Daytona's aspect ratio is 4:3, so I don't know if you can change the aspect ratio in the games. I'm sure you can, but I just never saw the follow-up. Brad, I did the other day. I did, because I'm a pirate, just like everybody else. I played it the other day, and I did enjoy it. It's hard, though. And you don't get the same experience where you don't have the wheel, but just playing it normally, I had a really good time. Yeah, BA sounds like a bad salesman. I think he was more used to, with our family, having immediate sales with very little work. He was surprised that I didn't just take whatever he had. Yeah, good night, Michael B. and everyone. Thanks for answering my questions. Great chat. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm not buying any Arcade1Ups that don't have Wi-Fi. Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point, too. We talked about that. All these cabs should have Wi-Fi for the simple point of it's just so much easier to just do an update on it. It's okay to drunk drive an hour and sit down. As an example for kiddies. Tony C, what's funny is they actually have the ledge there, and the first thing everybody said was, cool, I'm going to put my beer on it. Yeah, good night, Zohar. I've been at this for over an hour, guys. I don't know if I'm any further ahead. You know, I appreciate all your comments. I've got a lot of really good feedback on the stand-up or sit-down. We'll see. I think I'll probably end up buying it. I don't think anybody would be surprised. We'll see what happens. Anyways, I'm going to say good night now, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Everybody have a good night. Thank you so much. I've really enjoyed doing these chill and chat streams with you. And maybe next time we'll have a fun topic that isn't as selfish as I've been doing lately. And stay tuned, because I'm either getting it this week or early next week. I'll have an Attack from Mars Arcade1Up production pinball in my house. So a review is coming very soon. Hopefully, I might even be lucky enough to be the first person to get it. I was hoping I would be. I didn't think it was possible because I'm always the last to get something. But hopefully I'll have a Attack from Mars before everybody else, and I'll get a jump on that one. All right. Good night, guys.